The Mariners have now won 8 series in a row, taking down the Texas Rangers down in Texas. Joe and I are going to talk about this series, the second start for Logan Evans, the return of Matt Brash, and more from what happened down in the Lone Star State. We're then going to talk about George Kirby. He made his first rehab start. He may be making his return, and we have a potential date when we think he might come back. Then we're going to do Operation Overreaction, and I think I've got a fun one today. And then we're going to talk about the Sacramento Athletic Series coming up, starting today. This is episode 188 of the Hit It Here podcast, which is part of the Bleav network. And this is the Kirsten, the Tyler, the Eddie Diaz, my cousin's husband, Sam Moore, Zachary Wilson, Cameron, RJ. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. The Mariners get to go play in a AAA ballparks today, huh?
Uh-huh.
How are we feeling about that?
Feeling good. The offense, second best offense in baseball, get to play in a AAA ballpark in a team against a team that's got a negative run differential, is 6-9 at home. Are the Athletics this year? Not to get ahead of ourselves, but I feel good even after a Sunday finale loss, which didn't fully matter a ton because the Mariners secured the series win with the first 2 games. On the live stream, we determined that winning the first 2 games
More fun,
and losing the last one way better than losing the first one and having to clutch up and win the last 2. It was pretty much a unanimous decision on the live stream after the loss. It was not a Mariners Anonymous day.
Nope.
It didn't feel like it. You won the series.
It
right?
was what it was. It's Logan Evans,
Yeah, and like a Ben
outing.
Williamson backhand that maybe he should have gloved turns
Right.
into a double play. Maybe it's a 1-4 game instead of a 1-6 game. Is it out of hand at that point? I don't know.
But at the same time, who cares? They only scored 1 run. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you won the first 2 games. The first one in resounding fashion, 13-1. Cal Raleigh grand slam, a 2-homer game, leads the MLB in homers. Offensive juggernaut. Could not be stopped. Jack Leiter, Hoomst. I don't remember who pitched after that because it didn't matter because the Mariners just kept teeing off.
Tucker Barnhart.
Oh, well, after that.
I think he pitched 2 innings, right?
He pitched later in this game. Yeah, but I mean, a tone setter for the first game, just go in there and stomp the Rangers 13-1, which I don't know if you want to touch on it a ton because, I mean, yeah, it's an offensive explosion, but I think the second game is a bit more interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 2-1. I think the big part about this win is that Matt Brash made his return in this game, and he looked all right. He looked like he was definitely shaking the rust off a little bit, but he was able to get a double play to get himself out of the inning. Jorge Polanco did not start this game because Patrick Corbin was on the mound, so lefty on the mound. We know Polo doesn't want to hit left on left, and he's not comfortable hitting right-handed yet. But Polo did come in, hit a double right out of Adolis Garcia's glove, and then proceeded to score a little bit later in that inning, giving the Mariners that 2-1 lead. Again, that's how the score finished. Andres Munoz came in, secured his 12th save, continued his streak of scoreless outings. Now the league leader to start a season for the Seattle Mariners in scoreless outings, or I'm sorry, maybe he's tied now with Mark Zepchinski. One of the two.
No way. It's
Scrabble.
It's Zepchinski and Munoz. That's kind of wild.
Yeah. So I don't know, how Zepchinski did it, but it happened. And then game 3, I actually didn't get a chance to watch a ton of it. It looks like I didn't miss a whole lot. I saw the Logan Evans blow up inning.
Yeah.
And that's really all I needed to see.
Yeah, it was one where you see the wheels kind of fall off, but he does rebound and go 2 more innings after that. I was not expecting him to go out there for the 4th fully. It could have been worse. He goes 5. It is what it is. Obviously, the Mariners do not make an effort to tie the game, so another pitcher doesn't have to. The Mariners only had to throw 8 innings today. They used Legumina for 1 inning, and then they used Bizzardo for 2. Bizzardo does give up 2 runs, making it 8-1 at that point, but you preserved the bullpen for, I think, a much more important game, which is, yes, the Athletics are second in the division. Sure, sweeping the Rangers would have been awesome, but the offense was not putting you in a position to do so at any point during this final game. Evans, I think, outside, it's legitimately 4 batters in that inning where, okay, you just got away from it and just couldn't kind of reel it back in. I do think, again, Ben Williamson gloving that backhand, turning a double play there, could make a world of difference, but I don't know if it would have changed the full outcome of the game. Maybe it just would have made Evans not look as poorly if you look at 5 innings, 11 hits, 6 earned. It's not great, and I don't expect the next start that he makes, if he does make another one, to be that bad. I'll put air quotes around bad, but fun stuff from the Mariners' perspective after this game. You see that the Rangers fired their hitting coach.
Yeah.
And they also DFA'd Leody Taveras,
Yep. Yeah.
which Maybe Mariners on watch if Randy's hamstring cramp thing is more of an issue than they've
Was that a
said.
thing today?
So he left in the 7th after getting a base hit, extending his on-base streak. But Rylan Thomas took over for him, and after the game said they like said it was basically nothing, but it was just more of like a precautionary thing, like just kind of cramping up. But who knows? Maybe they value Taveras over Rylan Thomas.
Right.
Taveras,
Which I think they might.
Which could make sense. I don't know where the Mariners are at, like the pecking order as far as outright ravers are concerned. Anybody that would pick up Taveras will still pay him like $4 million, I think.
Yep.
So could be interesting if that is a move that the Mariners do choose to make, given their outfield injuries so far. But seeing the repercussions of a Mariners series win, and just like the poor offensive struggles for the Rangers, seeing that, like, we're not like it felt like we were the harbinger of doom for the Rangers and their, coaching staff decisions and all that today. But overall, a good series win that I think going into Sacramento you can feel good about as you leave Texas.
Yeah, I think that going into this series, it was just a continuation of you want to win the series. And game 3, it was Logan Evans making his second career start versus Jacob deGrom, one of the top pitchers in baseball over the past decade.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. You're going to lose games, and that feels like one that you lose that game, I'm not too mad about it. Now, if you would have lost the Patrick Corbin game, I'd be pissed, because why do the Mariners... I mean, Patrick Corbin's been good this year, but why do they make him look so good?
After especially giving up the leadoff homer to JP.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like, then they just kind of go
He
quiet
just
for a
shuts
bit.
it down.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There's something about Patrick Corbin. He will always haunt me from the game the Mariners played while I was in Atlanta, and they faced Patrick Corbin. He shoved against them, and then the Nats also didn't score any runs, and I was up till like 3 a.m. in Atlanta only to listen to them lose in extra innings. I'm dead inside. I will say about Rylan Thomas, Dominic Canzone is tearing the cover off the ball down in AAA Tacoma right now.
I've heard that one before.
I have too, but like,
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Like, would
I swap them? Maybe. I
haven't seen enough from Thomas to know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and have you seen enough from Canzone in the bigs? Maybe, but have you seen enough from him in AAA? It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would I just take Leody Taveras over both of them, given the current climate of whatever? Maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think it'd be interesting to see. I mean, the Mariners really don't need to go through and make a whole lot of moves right now. The team is winning. All right. Don't change a damn thing. Keep Donovan Solano on this team.
Whoa!
Until this team loses the series, do not change a thing. Donovan Solano.
I see the replies to your tweet of maybe giving you a change of heart.
Man, those tweets popped off the other day.
Yeah, they were going kind of crazy.
Kind of rent was due, huh?
Rent might have been due.
You know, I wanted to mention earlier that this is episode 188 of the Hit It Here podcast, which is part of the Bleav network. And this is the Kirsten, the Tyler, the Eddie Diaz, my cousin's husband, Sam Moore, Zachary Wilson, Cameron, RJ. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's your guys' episode.
A little late.
A little late.
But what's the saying? Better late than never. Just like George Kirby's return back to the Mariners in 2025. Wow, we did it. Man, he made his first rehab start on Sunday for Tacoma. It was in Las Vegas. George went 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. It was just a solo homer. And he struck out 4. 42 pitches, 33 strikes. We know the tail of tape on George. He's going to stay in the zone. Touched 97 on his fastball. This is coming from a tweet from Adam Jude. But many other people were clamoring at the fact that George Kirby took the mound again. And it got us thinking. When can we see him back? Because the conversation about Brash returning and how many rehab starts that George would make down in Tacoma before returning to the big league club, obviously him starting on the same day that Logan Evans pitched, maybe that lines up well enough for the future. I mean, also Logan Gilbert threw a baseball today, which is kind of crazy.
That shocked me.
Like the fact that those two things, like, a lot has happened. All right, and I don't fully know how to feel about Gilbert. I don't think we want to talk about it a ton because. Yeah, it's just him playing light catch, but the fact that he's doing that is crazy enough.
It's a good sign, right? I feel like
it has to be.
Because we weren't going to hear about the evaluation until this coming Friday,
mm-hmm.
The reevaluation, and the fact that he's playing catch already is like, okay, they must not be that worried about it. Otherwise, they would not let him pick up a baseball.
Yeah.
So, when do you think George is going to be back, Joe?
So, given the schedules, Tacoma has tomorrow off. but they play on Thursday. So you think about like the Mariners schedule going forward. There's 5 games in between this Sunday and then next Saturday, the 10th, which if they're going on 5 days rest for George or 5 games in between starts.
I'm sorry. I'm
just
sorry.
kidding. George would pitch on the 10th. Theoretically, in a world where things are normal and they're just doing normal rest for him, that would be his next start. I don't know fully how rehab starts always go. They can be different for everybody, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's 5 games in between starts, George would pitch on the 10th, and then followed up by that would be the 16th, which is a Friday. I would then be, because they said 2 to 3 starts. 2 to 3 rehab starts for George Kirby. That would be his third on the 16th. Would that then put him back available for the Astros series that would start on the Mariners on Thursday the 22nd on the road at the tail end of the road trip? Maybe. There's a different outcome that I think makes sense potentially just to allow maybe George a bit of breathing room. That maybe it's not every 5 games down in Tacoma. Maybe he pitches on the 11th and the 19th. I don't know. But I think the homestand the Mariners get back to on Tuesday the 27th against the Nationals would be my pick for when I think George Kirby could make his season debut, being that also they have a day off on Monday the 26th. They could reslot the rotation to that point and then figure it out from there. It would be a long road trip. I mean, you've harped on it. It's a 10-game road trip with no off days. Being able to plug George in during one of those games might be beneficial for them.
True.
So I'm not entirely sure. I'd say look between the 22nd and the 27th for George Kirby to make his Mariners debut.
Yeah, and I think the big part about what it's going to take for George to come back is how many innings he can go. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was 3 innings pitched. You have to build him up. You have to build him up to start the season on the right foot. He threw 3 innings in his first rehab outing. I would say probably 4, hopefully, in the next outing. And then if he can give you a couple starts of 5 innings and come back on the 27th, you feel pretty damn good about getting George back at that point. They're not going to have him go 100 pitches every time out because, well, again, he needs to be able to actually be able to come back and come back healthy. But I think that if the Mariners can find a way to get George back for the Astros series,
could be good.
I'd feel really good about that. Obviously, I would much rather have George Kirby pitch versus the Astros than like Logan Evans.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how the rotation slots out. Doesn't matter right now.
And also, like Logan Gilbert, he might be available to pitch.
Right.
Like, who knows at this point? I think George probably comes back before Gilbert would, given,
Maybe.
things. But like if Logan's playing catch,
I mean, he might need 1 rehab start.
Yeah,
You know
so
what
I don't know.
So like, who knows? My Operation Overreaction, and it's actually going to kind of go into our last topic about the Athletics.
Oh.
The Mariners are going to Sacramento at Sutter Health Park, which is a AAA stadium in the Pacific Coast League. Your Seattle Mariners are going to score in this series 27 runs.
9 runs a game?
Average 9 runs a game. Now, I think that's going to be like one big game, and then like a few, like maybe like a 6 or something
like
that.
the Mariners scored 13,
Right.
2, and 1. Like, yes, that's not nearly. I mean, think about a 13-run outburst in the first game for the Rangers, and then they put up 2 and then 1. I mean, they're looking at 16 runs across 3. You want them to score 11 more runs than that?
Because
Damn.
we know how good of a hitter's ballpark Sutter Health Park is. I think that the way this Mariners offense has been going, it can happen. Now, again, obviously you're missing Victor. You're missing Luke. But the Mariners offense scored 13 runs without any of those guys.
Yeah.
Jorge Polanco up there as well. Severino is going to be on the mound during that series. So, maybe you can get to him a little bit. The Mariners have seen him a lot. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see how this offense with a 127 WRC plus on the season, second in all of baseball behind the Chicago Cubs, how they can fare against the Athletics.
Behind the...
Oh, New York Yankees, right.
Right. I mean, 27 runs a game against a team who's got a 4.42 overall team ERA. Yes, the Athletics are not having any added benefit of playing in a AAA park. I agree. 9 runs a game? Man. I mean, don't be wrong. Fireworks are going to, they're going to be shooting off my head if we score 9 runs a game. Like, that's going to be insane. Obviously, you're not saying every single game. Like, on an average, 27 total runs. Severino in T-Mobile to start the year. The Mariners did not necessarily, they won the game, but they did not tee off on Luis Severino. And Severino's not been terrible this year. It's just you're playing in Sutter Health Park, obviously AAA stadium. I mentioned at the very beginning, Athletics are 6-9 at home.
Nice.
Home. And they've got a like -20 run differential. Yes, they're 3 games over 500, but the, I guess, like underlying stats about this team, yes, they've got a pretty solid offense, but their pitching staff has been very poor. Going back home against a Mariners offense and team that's been rolling, I think 27 might be a bit high. Put it at like 24. I don't know why, like just one run different per game makes it seem more likely.
It's because that's Griffey's number. 24.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
in our Griffey era for like runs scored
Ricky
for the Mariners.
Henderson.
Or Ricky, sure. I mean, that feels like we're just like rubbing salt in the wound against the Athletics franchise, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe 25 total runs. I mean, an overreaction, no. Because we've seen the offense explode for a ton of runs. Like, if Polo will start 2 games in this one. Obviously, the second game, it will be Jeffrey Springs. We'll get to that.
Oh, God.
So he won't start that game.
Never mind. They're scoring 5 runs.
All right, you gotta relax. No backpedaling here. Maybe if Donovan Solano hits his first home run in this series, does it still count? Even though it's in a AAA stadium?
No.
Oh my God!
Wait, does what still count?
If he hits a home run.
Then I'm getting his jersey?
Oh, no. That.
Oh, you're saying does his home run count?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the jersey thing is
the jersey
stale.
thing is gone. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
That was like a one-time offer. I don't even remember
Cool.
what the
I don't even remember what it
stipulation
was either, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't think the offense scoring a ton of runs is like an overreaction. But again, 27.
That'd be 15, 6, and 6. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
Yeah, right?
When you say it like that, yeah, no shot. Maybe if it was a 4-game series.
Mm.
Maybe it was a 4-game series, but it is only a 3-game set against the Athletics, which starts Monday. That's today. A 7 o'clock start time. Instead of a 6, like, do they always do 7 o'clock? Am I missing something here? It just feels weird playing on the West Coast and not starting at 6:40. Because that's just what the Mariners have done.
Which is interesting because the Mariners used to be 7:10 all the time.
Correct.
And then they went to 6:40 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
You think the Mariners can score 6+ runs against a 3.3 ERA and Luis Severino on the year?
Luis Severino.
Severino. It's opposite Bryce Miller in game 1. Miller, not off to the best start, a 2-3 record, a 3.52 ERA. I think if you finish the season at a 3.52 ERA, that's not going to be terrible.
No.
But you want Miller to be a bit better than that. You want him to go deeper in games. And I don't know his whip, and I'm scared to go look at it.
It's probably going to be...
You know what?
Let's not.
You guys comment down below what his whip is, and then we can find out that way.
Wrong answers only.
Right. Is that how that is? Then we'll never know what it actually is.
We'll never know, and I feel better about not knowing.
Okay.
Jorge Polanco and Cal Raleigh and Rowdy Tellez have all hit home runs off of Luis Severino in their career. Polanco hitting 444 versus him in 9 ABs. Arozarena has 7 ABs against him, hitting just 143. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
You're not going to mention Cal's 1.9 OPS?
It is 4 at-bats. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. He's got 1 homer, 2 RBI. Probably got a double in there somewhere.
I mean,
maybe
he's 2 for 4. I mean, he's probably got some walks in there, but a 1.9? That's kind of crazy. We're reaching... Oh. I just saw the one on the other side. Hello.
Yeah. So let's talk about Lawrence Butler really quick, who is 2 for 4 versus Bryce Miller with a 1.964 OPS versus Bryce Miller.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, tough one. I think that Miller, we need to see him turn it around a little bit. We need to see him dominate the strike zone like we know he can do, and just look. I don't want competence, not the right word, but look competitive.
Yeah, look better.
Yeah,
go out there and compete every single pitch and not walk 5 guys.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
The burger place or
no. Baseball players.
Unfortunate.
You're hungry, aren't you?
I am, dude. Shocking. Oh, Golden Span.
I think the pitching advantage is still to Bryce Miller in this one, but it's close. It's just Severino's having a decent year. Miller's having a little bit less of a better start than we had expected. But I still think the pitching advantage goes to the Mariners in the first game. I don't know if we can fully say that in the second game. However, Road Warrior Emerson Hancock, will he be... He's pitched well in Tacoma in the past in a AAA park. Maybe he'll pitch well
He's
inside
right
or
at
out.
home. He's
Yeah.
right at
And
home.
pitched in a AAA park. That's no disrespect to Emerson Hancock. It's merely for a joke and a meme. A 6.62 ERA on the season for Emerson Hancock, opposite left-hander Jeffrey Springs, who kind of carved the Mariners in the second game of the season. A 4.98 ERA has kind of come back down to earth after that first start for him against the Mariners. We'll see the right-handed hitting lineup deployed in Donovan Solano, Mitch Garver, Samad Taylor. We'll see those guys. You seem happy about it.
War flashbacks.
Yeah.
I want to point out the best average on the Mariners against Jeffrey Springs is one Rowdy Tellez with a 1,000.
He's 1 for 1. He'll definitely be on the bench that day.
Yep, yes he will. Versus Emerson Hancock, however, Brent Rooker has a home run. Tyler Soderstrom has a home run as well. Soderstrom has a Rooker. It's only 2 at bats, right? But a 2.667 OPS. That's a 3-run home run right there. Feel good about that.
I think, I mean, not to say that some of these might be inflated from Emerson's first start of the year.
Yeah.
No.
That
was against the Tigers,
yes,
wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, darn. I can't even use that as like copium.
Nope.
I was would
have been last year.
Yeah. I was going to say his bad start in T-Mobile, but that was not against the Athletics.
This is tough. Anyway,
this is the one where if you win this game, you've won the series. I think. If you happen to win game 2, you've won this series against the Athletics because you'll win one of the other two. This is the coin flip game where you lose it. Okay, you still have a chance to win the series. If you win this, you might have a chance to sweep.
Yeah.
I think.
I would agree with that. I think that this is definitely, with what we saw, how the Mariners hit versus Jeffrey Springs earlier in the season. I don't know. I don't feel good about the Mariners' right-handed lineup, but also this is a different team than it was when the Mariners faced them last time when Jeffrey Springs came out. I mean, the Mariners' offense wasn't clicking on all cylinders. Now it is. And so I think that that's something that you have to feel a lot better about than you did earlier on in the season. Brian Wu takes the mound in Game 3 opposite of Gunnar Hoglund, who will be making his second major league start. Joe, tell me a little bit about Gunnar Hoglund.
Well, he's part of the Matt Chapman trade that sent Chapman to the Blue Jays, I believe. He made his first start against the Marlins. Went 6 innings. Got a dub. Has a 1.5 ERA. Like, looked pretty good.
Yeah.
In AAA so far on the season, down in... Is it still the... No. Where's the Oakland... Where are the Athletics AAA team?
Is it? No, it's not. I don't know.
Is it the Sacramento Rivercats still?
It might be. Wait.
I'm confused. Doesn't matter. In AAA, Gunnar Hoglund was pitching to a 2.43 ERA over 29 innings. So he's pitching pretty well so far to start the year. Is this kind of like, what is it?
I was going to be right. I was going to say it's Las Vegas.
Oh,
Las
I'm
Vegas.
stupid.
It's the Aviators.
Yeah. Oh, I'm dumb.
I was going to say Las Vegas, but I'm like, did the Rainiers just play their minor league affiliate?
Yeah, I'm
dumb.
Did. Regardless, Hoglund, it's a pitching prospect making his second start. What's the tape on him? I couldn't really tell you a ton about him necessarily. Like, sure, he was pitching well in AAA so far to start this year, but last year when he made the jump to AAA, he had a 5.88 ERA. He was pitching to a 2.84 ERA previous to that in AA. So, will the Mariners be able to attack and get on a young pitcher making, his second ever career start? I mean, they just did it to Jack Leiter.
True.
Sure, not second career start, but a young pitcher that showed some good things against the previous team. I mean, Leiter came into that start with an ERA below 3, and then they torched him. I don't think that the Mariners should be necessarily worried with Brian Wu opposite Gunnar Hoglund in this one. Wu has been the best starting pitcher for the Mariners, night in and night out. Like I said, you win Game 1 and Game 3, I'd say I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 confidence rate on the Game 1 and then a 10 out of 10 confidence rate. Like, I would be surprised if they lost the finale here. Unless, of course, they're going with the win the first 2 games, lose the finale as far as their winning pattern for series going forward. But with Brian Wu on the mound, again, I feel very confident that the Mariners will be able to get the job done and win their 9th consecutive series.
The Athletics have seen Brian Wu quite a bit. 12 at-bats for J.J. Bleav. He's hitting 250. 12 for Seth Brown. Same thing, 250. Lawrence Butler, 13 at-bats, hitting .077
Mm-hmm.
versus Brian Wu. The only person with a home run, not really gonna, or sorry, two people with a home run, not gonna shock you. It's Brent Rooker and it's Tyler Soderstrom.
I mean, Rooker's also hitting .071 though.
That is true. That one home run, that's the only hit he has against him, I think. Soderstrom hitting 300 against him. Obviously, the Mariners have not yet seen Gunnar Hoglund. So, naturally.
As it's his second
that
career
is how
start.
that works, yes.
Yes.
The Athletics are a good baseball team. They're 19-16 on the year so far, second place in the American League West. I mean, it's not going to be easy. They're not going to be the Oakland Athletics that laid down and died every time we played them. What was the Mariners' winning streak against the Athletics last year? It was something crazy, right?
I mean, I think they went undefeated one year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I don't remember if that was last year or 2023.
Mhm.
I don't fully remember.
But this is not that same team. Again, Brent Rooker's on this team. Obviously, you have Nick Kurtz, who's up here making his
First
season
like
in the
MLB
big
stint.
leagues.
Yeah. Jacob Wilson's a great player. You look at Lawrence Butler, JJ Bleday. Like,
Mhm.
there's good players on this team. Shea Langoliers, he's tortured the Mariners
Yep.
a couple times. It's not that this team is an easy feat. Like, this team is much better than the Angels. Is this team better than the Rangers team that we just played? I don't know. The record says yes, but the run differentials and everything like that would say maybe they're close. Maybe they're similar.
Mhm.
And I think that with that being said, the Mariners should be able to take care of business again.
Yeah, and they already have, right? Did they win the series versus the Athletics earlier in the year?
2-2 split.
Oh, it was a 4-game set. That's right. Shame. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I think that getting our first look at Sutter Health Park is going to be, cool. The River Cat Stadium. I think that's the one that has the lazy river in right field, right? Is that a thing?
We'll find out tomorrow or tonight.
I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 188 of the Hit It Here podcast, and go Mariners.